Welcome to the final episode of this series, where I'll be taking us through how to create a virtual server instance on the Microsoft Azure platform. After we've done for all the other platforms, the AWS, the Google Cloud, and then the Oracle Cloud. So we're now doing for Microsoft Azure platform. So once you've signed up for your accounts and you have your login details, when you log into your Microsoft Azure platform, you'd have this dashboard. So you have a couple of options. You can create a whole lot of other stuff. But since we're creating a virtual machine instance, I'll just go straight to the virtual machine instance and click on that option. So I currently have one server running, so I'll just go ahead and click on add to create a new one. So once you click on add, it will come up with a couple of prepared images that is available on the Microsoft Azure platform. So since we're interested in the Ubuntu server, so I'll just click on the Ubuntu server, and then you can select the version. I'll go for the 1604. We can click on create. So that would take us to where we would specify the server configuration, and then we'll need to give it a name. So I'll just call it DevOps. You can you specify the username, so you can actually either choose to log in through password or SSH key. I prefer to use SSH key, so you can go ahead and look up videos on how to generate SSH key on your system. I already have SSH key, so I'll just copy the SSH key for my system. So I'll copy with the pb copy tool, and then it's located in the root folder, my .ssh, and then it's actually my public key. So I'll copy it and then I'll paste it here. So this would actually allow me have the passwordless access to my server, which is more secure across the network. So you can choose to create a resource group, which is actually just a group where all your resources are, a group that actually stores all the details of your resources. I'll just probably try and use an existing one. Okay, so let me just use an existing one, basically anyone, and then I'll just select that. So you can choose location where you want your server located, but I'll stick with the default, which is West Europe, and then I'll click on OK. So that would go ahead and start creating our, okay, we'll actually first of all do a validation that all our configurations provided are okay and are correct. And once that is done, we'll then be able to actually go ahead and start spinning up our server. The process takes a few minutes, so we'll just look at how we can go about that. So you actually have the option of choosing your server configuration, but I'll just stick with the minimal to reduce the cost that I would incur. So this is 8 gig drive and 16 gig SSD, 2 virtual CPUs. So I'll just select that, and then I would go ahead and it tries to verify my options, and once that is done, this OK button will be enabled, and then I can say OK, and so it's running the final validation of all my options, and then I can accept the permission. I can give Microsoft permission to contact me and all that, and then I'll click OK, or create rather, and then it goes through the process of submitting my deployment and initiating my deployment. So that takes a bit of a while. So let's just go and look at the tool. So to connect to any virtual machine, any Linux server, you need to use the SSH tool. SSH tool comes pre-installed on any Unix-based system, such as the Mac OS that I'm using right now. But if you are on Windows, you need to download the PuTTY tool, which would actually give you access to the SSH. Is a free SSH client, because SSH is not pre-installed on Windows command line or command prompts. So SSH is pre-installed in this. So while we're waiting for that, I'll probably try and okay, so let me just see. if we look at it, you'd see that it's still being created. So let's try and wait for that. So basically what we'd also do after this is done is would install a web server on our server. So you can actually Google install web server on Ubuntu, and you'd see a whole lot of tutorials. You can actually either choose to use Apache, but I prefer to use Nginx, which but you can decide to go for Apache if that's what you want. So let's go ahead and check if our server is up and running. It's still creating. So let's see. So that comes up with the tutorial. So since this is the final episode in the series, so I'll do a rundown of actually what we've been able to do. We're able to create server instance the on the Oracle Cloud, on the Amazon Web Service, on the Google Cloud, and now on Microsoft Azure. So on this is the same DevOps Ubuntu server running on AWS. This is the same DevOps server running on the Google Cloud platform, while this is also the same thing coming up on the Oracle Cloud. So let's just check our so our deployment succeeded. We can click to go to resources. Let me click on instance so that it shows the same thing that is also running on the Oracle Cloud. So this is the same DevOps machine running on the Oracle Cloud. So now our server is up and running on Microsoft Azure. So we can actually go ahead and connect to it. So let's see, this is the IP address. So I can click to copy it. Then I'll go to my SSH tool. So I'll just do SSH. My username, which I specified earlier, was PROFEMZY. Then add my public IP address. Then I can press enter. Since I'd already entered my SSH key, it wouldn't ask for password. But since this is the first time I'm connecting to it, it asks if I'm sure that I want to connect to it. I'll just say yes, and then I'll be logged on to my server. So now I'm inside my server. I can update it. Sudo apt update my repository so that I can have the latest softwares. And since we would want to install a web server on it, so I'll just go ahead and run the command to install Nginx. Sudo apt install Nginx, and that would go ahead. I would say yes and install Nginx. But by default, Azure also locks down all the ports except SSH, so we need to open up the port 80 so that we can actually have access to. So you can actually just click on resource group that we used. So that brings up the resource group. So you can then look for the name of your virtual machine instance and then the NSG, network security group. So once you click on the network security group, it will take us to a place where we can specify the ports that we want to open. So Nginx is actually done installing. So it takes us to a place where we can specify rules of inbound security rules or outbound rules. So let's just go to inbound security rules because we want to actually handle traffic that are coming into our server. So we can add port 80 to the allowed one. So we change this to port 80. It's actually a TCP traffic, but you can leave it as any if you want to. Then I can call this whatever name, HTTP, description HTTP. You can specify priority to order how they are prioritized, and then we click OK. And so that should allow traffic on port 80 on our server. When it's done, we would see the indication that it's done when it's actually done. So you can see created rule successful. So we can come here, paste our server IP address, and if everything goes well, we will have our web server running on. Let me just quickly go back to the overview so that I can get the server details. Alright, so here we have our web server, the same Nginx server. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the entire series. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice time. Bye.